Well, for more, let's talk to our international affairs editor, Armin Georgian, who joins me here in the studio. Armin, hi. First of all, we know the FBI they finished their investigation. They've submitted that report, as I was saying, to the Senate. What do we know about who they've been speaking to as they conducted that probe?
Well, they contacted 10 people and they have interviewed 9. They finished the report and sent it to the White House. The White House has now sent it to the Senate, and senators will be consulting this today in a secure room. There are no copies of this report. So I think that's an important thing to underline, that we won't, in the media, nor the general public will know exactly word for word what's in it. We'll just have to infer what's in it from what senators ultimately say about it when the final vote happens, which could be this Saturday, I gather. 10 people contacted, 9 interviewed. Now, the White House, talking about this report, they're saying, a spokesman said, we are fully confident the Senate will vote to confirm Judge Kavanaugh. So what that suggests is that, having read this report, the White House does not feel threatened. This suggests that there is no explosive information from Mark Judge, who was interviewed as one of these 9 people, nor any explosive information from the other people who were interviewed. That's at least the inference we can make at this point.
We've heard plenty, haven't we, in the last couple of days from Donald Trump himself. He also saying he's pretty confident that Kavanaugh is going to be nominated, or his nomination is going to be accepted, rather. Has his intervention to the US president made much of a difference here?
Well, obviously what's overshadowed everything is his comments at that rally in Mississippi. And the question is, do his remarks now make it more difficult for the remaining waverers on the Republican side to vote for Brett Kavanaugh? The 3 most vocal Republicans who've been denouncing Trump's comments at that rally are Jeff Flake, Susan Collins, and Lisa Murkowski. Now, are those criticisms a sign that those 3 senators are going to vote against Brett Kavanaugh, or are they effectively saying, look, that's just Trump, that's not us as a party. We as the Republican Party, we are sensitive to women who've survived sexual assault. If it's the latter, then how easy would that argument be to make in their congressional districts? That's really the big question. If they're going to make that argument that this is just Trump and not the rest of us, this is not an easy judgment call, Nadia. But as for Trump himself, well, it's very clear what he was doing, keeping his base mobilized ahead of the midterms, because of course white male rage is something that he channeled in the election campaign in 2016. And that white male rage is not just a reaction to a loss of economic opportunities, it's also a reaction to a perceived loss of status in the face of confident, successful career women. Now, the question is, how will white middle-class women in America's suburbs vote in the midterms? Because they are not Trump's base. They have in the past backed candidates like John McCain and Mitt Romney. Trump is, of course, a very different political animal. So I think their responses to what's been going on with Brett Kavanaugh, but also other men who've been accused of sexual misconduct, such as Roy Moore, their responses could be a factor in the midterm elections. I don't want to say they will be a factor, but they might be a factor.
Much to watch out for then, not just in the next couple of days, but in that midterm in November. Thank you very much indeed. Armin Georgian there from our International Affairs Desk.